All right, so we should be back. It's gonna start screaming at me. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Oh, we can. Yay, we have microphone back. All right, so if anybody was watching before this, we apologize. We had some terrible microphone troubles. So yeah, we are now back. So we're gonna start over. We'll kind of breeze through the first half of it. So I will start
character introduction.
So we'll start with telling about each of our characters, which we had already done all this, but that's okay. So we'll start to the left over here with Nick.
Nick is a half-orc left domain cleric. He's 16 years old. He just set out on his first adventure here. He's trying to find out more about his family, which is just kind of a big shadow in his mind, and he knows he's some sort of half noble or from noble household. He has a signet ring, but he didn't know much about that until finding his father, who is full orc, and learning about his relationship with his mom. But he still needs to find out about the mother side of his family, and that's where he is right now. He's killed a lot of people for left domain cleric. He worships Helm, but he's trying the best he can. That's the end of you.
My character is named Void/Devo. My name is Cody. And
hi, Cody.
Hi. Devo's thing was that he is a Asmar, so he is the descendant of angels and humans. His parents were killed, which caused his personality to split, which caused the birth of Void, who was then granted the power of a stand by a mysterious figure. The stand's name is Lord, like the musician, and has the ability to see into the future. And now Void is on a mission to get as powerful as he can and find the person who gave him his stand so that he can lead him to the person who killed his parents. And Devo just wants to party.
Live a life.
Yeah, live the life of a partier. Yeah.
Well, I'm Chris. My character is Lindor. He's an Eldrin elf. He's a rogue. His kind of backstory is he's a little bit younger for an elf. He's in the 70s. And his father was the ruler.
Really?
But anyways, he's the ruler of his domain or kingdom, I guess you could say. And my uncle killed my father and kind of banished me. Not kind of, he banished me. And so at this point, I'm trying to find a way to kind of avenge my family, and I'm just kind of slowly boiling about my uncle, and I think it's making me kill more and more people. It's kind of a common thing for our party to do, and I'm not really against it at this point.
We are an assassin.
Yeah, I am an assassin. So at this point, the group kind of has a focus that is aligned with what I'm trying to complete and kind of do. Lots of money is involved, which is nice. It helps with the future plans, but also at the same time, we do save a lot of people, even if a lot of them are in it for the money, or at least it seems like. But we do in the end hopefully save more people. So.
I don't know about that yet.
No, I don't know. We're getting there. That's what my character believes. He's a little messed up.
That's true. I think you're going to hold off on introducing yourself until we meet you in the campaign, right? Okay. So I'll discuss the other two characters real quick. So we have a Githyanki, School of Evocation wizard named Japan. He is out today, so he will not be joining us. But his character is from the astral plane, has come to our world, and really just, I think, wants to learn as much as he can about evocation and then try and help people however he can. The other character we have, who is also not here, he's not feeling well today, is playing Keelan the Wolfhearted. She is a elf sorceress of the Clockwork Soul. She is a Knight of the Order, and her order is the Order of the Unicorns, I believe. So her goal is just to help anyone in need however possible. So she's a very good character, tries to do what she can. So, yeah. Those are the 5 characters we have in this campaign right now. we are going to offer a shout out to one of our other previous characters that was in our campaign. His name was Quovis. He was a Eldrin elf, Circle the Moon druid. Who
He
had
liked to pee on things.
He did.
his favorite thing was to kill something and then pee on it. Yes.
Or other things.
Maybe even pee on it before it died.
Yes. Anyway, he had to drop out for personal reasons. We hope he comes back. Scheduling conflicts, things like that. But yeah, so we hope he comes back. But this is a shout out to him in case he doesn't. We enjoyed having you. So anyway, I think the next thing we're going to go over is just a generic of our house rules, and I'll do that. So we have a couple. So the first thing comes down to ability checks and attack rolls. So what we change is I have added something called success with a consequence. What that means is if a player misses an ability check or attack roll by 3 or less, so they're close to the realm of success, but they're just not quite there, they can choose to succeed at a consequence. So that means that they can tell me, hey, I want to succeed this, and I want to have something else bad happen because of that. So some examples have been Lindor tried to shoot a bow at a target that was running away, that was just about to get away, and missed. Well, he said, I want to succeed. So I let him succeed, and then he broke his bow. So he had to get it mended outside of combat. He had to get it fixed. Took him a little bit of time. Yeah, so that's just an example of it. We play with critical successes and failures on both ability checks and attack rolls. So you can critically succeed an ability check, even though that's not in the rules. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just do anything you want to. So you can't try and seduce a god with a natural 20. That doesn't happen. It's within the realm of possibility.
Try.
You can try, but it's within the realm of possibility. So if there's a chance you could, but it's still going to be unlikely.
A good example of this is our sorcerers convinced a bunch of cultists to just give up the life, and they just left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did. She said, "Hey, you guys should just leave." Natural 20. They said, yeah, I think I'm gonna get it. I think we should, yeah. And so they all left except for the leader, and he's just like, "What the heck? My whole army's gone." So that was fun.
Fun for us.
It is fun for us. The last rule we have for ability checks and attack rolls is hit into critical hit. So I have a rule which allows any player to turn a hit into a critical hit at the cost of 2 levels of exhaustion, which is, if you haven't played D&D before, a lot. 2 levels of exhaustion gives you disadvantage on all ability checks, and then it halves your speed, which is a big hit to a player in the middle of combat. So this can be used if your character's about to die and you want to get in one big hit, or the combat's almost over and you're ready to get this done with, and you're all low on health, things like that. So there's a lot of options there. Another rule that I add is potions. They always seem underpowered to me, so we added a rule where if you use your action to drink a potion, you get the entire health effects of a potion. You can also choose to use a potion as a bonus action, and instead of just getting the full health, you roll the dice. So there's a chance to get all of the health back if you want to use your whole turn to do it. Death saving throws add levels of exhaustion. So if you get knocked unconscious and you fail a death saving throw, that will add 1 level of exhaustion to your character at the end of combat. And that will increment for every failed save you have. So if you are up, you get knocked unconscious, you fail 1 death saving throw, you get back up, you get knocked back down to 0, and you fail 2 more death saving throws. At the end of that combat, you'll have 3 levels of exhaustion. So that just kind of adds some fear to death, because right after combat, you're going to be, all your adrenaline's going to die out, and you're going to feel like you got hit by a train. So that's kind of the point of that.
Up to a maximum of 5 levels.
To a maximum of 5 levels. So you cannot die from this exhaustion, but you will be stuck at no movement, disadvantage on everything, and pretty much dead for 5 days.
No, every day you get better.
Every day you get a little bit better, but for 5 days you're not back to where you were. We play with inspiration, but instead of just doing 1 inspiration and we kind of vote on it, we do what I call a team bowl. So everybody on the table gets access to these tokens. There are 4 of them around the table. You can use your inspiration token to reroll any attack or saving throw, or have me reroll an attack or saving throw, or to do max damage on a hit. So that can be with a fireball, with a bow, a critical hit already, or things like that. So the players get 4 dice of inspiration, and I get 2 in accordance. So that way I have a little bit that I can play with, they have a little bit more they can play with, and we cannot use our inspiration to cancel each other out. So
you can both use inspiration on the same thing, but it doesn't cancel out.
Yes.
And we're doing brutal criticals, so
Yes, brutal criticals. So instead of if you roll a crit, you get double the dice like normal. We are playing, you get the max dice roll. So if it's like a D8 plus 5, it would be 8 plus a D8 plus 5 instead of just 2D8 plus 5. So it's a little bit higher damage potential. It makes it feel a little bit more like an actual critical hit and not so much like a extra damage. So, and the last rule, which
and
is
enemies get it too. So
enemies get it too as well. So it's dangerous if you get hit by one. The last rule we play with is rule of cool. What that means is just if the players come up with a creative way that's not quite within the rules and I like it, I can vote to let it go, and then we'll adjust it as we proceed forward. You guys have any good examples of that?
oh, that time we tried to set that alcohol on fire, but it didn't work because we didn't specifically target the alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I think the best example I've ever seen was when your character one time tried to flood an entire room using beads of water.
I'll tell that story real quick.
Yeah.
So back in one of the other campaigns that I play in, my DM allowed rule of cool. It's very similar. But what I did was I bought a very high level campaign. I think we were level 20. We were fighting Orcus. We were out in like a cave with a very big drop off in the middle of the cave. Well, I bought 15 beads of dryness, which is a magic item. When you can soak these beads in water and then throw them at the ground to burst, and when they burst, they summon a 15 by 15 by 15 foot cube of water. Well, I had 15 of them. And so I told my DM I'm going to gather all of these up and I'm going to throw them all at the ground simultaneously. And so in an instant, I flooded the entire battlefield with like 5,000 gallons of water and flooded all of the enemies off the side. So that was, and he allowed it reluctantly, unfortunately, but I thought it was awesome. So
Really
yeah,
cool.
that is the rule of cool. The other thing that we're working on for our stream right now is our curse counter. So I'm going to jump to that scene real quick so you guys can see it. I lost my mouse. There it is. But we won't have long to talk about it. But we have a curse counter up here in the top left of our stream. We're just trying to keep our mouths in check a little bit with this and have some fun doing it. So for every 5 curse words that a player says, me included, we have to stop the game and donate $5 to the stream. So we're working on some upgrades so that if you guys want to donate anything, you can add words to our list that we can't say. And then that would count against our donations. So, but that's coming in the future. So yeah.
Hoping to implement something where if you donate a certain amount, it makes something happen in game, but we haven't really decided on that yet.
Yep, we're still working through details on all that stuff. So,
Don't you dare! Are you?
oh my gosh,
You shouldn't
I
have
was about to.
Oh my god.
How dare you? How dare you?
It's about 30 minutes too late on that one.
12 minutes. We're at almost 13 minutes now.
I mean, from the last session.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so yeah,
Anyway.
so that is the characters that we have so far.
Beans.
General house rules.
And general house rules. So I think we're good to start telling them about the campaign again. So we are playing through. So we're going to be talking about the Hoard of the Dragon Queen. We have finished this book, hence, and we are now in the Rise of Tiamat. I think we're in episode 2 right now. But we have some stories we're going to tell about this, just so we can figure out what's going on. Kind of give you guys a backstory as to where we are. So if anybody wants to jump in and watch, they have a jumping off point. So.
And
Yeah.
spoiler warning, obviously, for Hoard.
Obviously, spoiler warning, because we're going to be talking about the story. So if you have not played this or you're in the middle of a campaign, be aware. So I will leave this to you guys.
Well, we start out in a bar some ways away from Green-S and hanging out. Quovis is telling us about his forces being overrun, but, talking, drinking, throwing bread at each other, and then we're also doing that in the game. And, we get a merchant to come in and tell us, hey, I'll give you each 5 gold, more gold than we've ever seen each, to go and get into Green-S safely.
Keep in mind, we all have over 5,000 gold now, so.
We've
Level
come
1
a
at a
long
time,
way.
that's more gold than we've ever seen, but no, we ride up. All of us except for Lindor. Lindor's not here yet. Wayland's way out of here. Well, this is with us, but yeah, we go to get to Green-S. We get there, we see a dragon flying overhead, and we all nope immediately because we're level 1, and that's a dragon. Not a lot of us have played D&D. This was the first time for 5 of us, first time for 4 of the players, and the DM was DMing for the first time, but we get our bravery up and we agree to go to Green-S, and when we get there we decide to split up, and then one person's going to try and do some sleuthing, capture a guy and question him what's going on, and then we're waiting for Outback for backup, and then Void there goes, help, help, trying to get one of the kobolds in the back to
Trying to draw a little bit of attention, just a little bit of attention.
just a little bit of attention, and then that was also our signal, the backup signal, to run in and help. So he just whispers, trying to get a little bit of help, and then we just sprint in, go, "Rawr!" Fight ensues. Some people get gravely injured, but we end up succeeding, saving the day. It was our first combat, so it was a little wilder. We didn't really use cover or half cover, or specifically know how our cantrips and abilities work, but no, we won, and we took their clothes, dressed up as them, and then tried to, go through the rest of the town. We dodged multiple fights until we found a girl about to be killed by kobolds, so we had our stand user go out and just start wailing on them just with an invisible character.
They had no idea.
They were so confused. Only a couple of us knew what was going on, but we tried to slowly get the kobolds to die and kill them and get into a advantageous position to wipe them out. But
I'd like to mention something that Nick always doesn't realize what the word kobold is. So he'll say cabos or
Cobos, Kablotter.
Collotters or anything but cobalt, basically.
Yes.
Just put that out
It's
there.
a running joke at
It's
this
a
point that
running
we call it
joke.
collabos.
He just called it a collabo, so it made me think of it.
we
It's a real
take out
throwback.
the kobolds, we save the girl, we rescue some people, and then get in one more fight. But then we're like, oh, we're really low health, so we gather up what people we can. We kind of just get into a running charge. Anybody who shows their face, we shoot at them while running, and we get more survivors on the way, and then we make it to the keep. Then we get tasked with the mayor to do various things. We go through the little underground path, kill a couple packs of rats, and then make it outdoors. And then we found not necessarily door guards. They weren't guarding the secret entrance. They're more of just scouring about for survivors, and we kill almost all of them except one starts to get away, and that's when Lindor shows up.
Kind of showed up in the
Yeah, he
alleyway.
double dashed to get close to the bad guy and shot him down, and he wasn't able to call for backup. But no, then we grouped up and searched for survivors. We went to the barn,
Where we
scattered
almost died.
out, realized they were waiting an ambush for us, so we go ahead and we wait for them because we're just waiting for backup. But by the end of it, it turns into a whole struggle, and we kill all of them, take all their chainmail, and make our way back to the keep after the reinforcements have arrived to hold the barn, keep their food from burning. And we sell the chainmail / hand it out to people who are on guard, and that's when the dragon attacks. After just one round of combat, peeking out, trying to shoot a spell at it, Jaw upon landed the critical hit that made it just immediately run away. It's like, nah, screw this. I didn't sign up for this, and just flies off. And then we, take a short rest, and then it's the temple. There's a whole lot of people who went to the temple to be safe, and there's scouts and people circling it and trying to make sure nobody escapes. So we go to the back door, we, knock on it, kill the people who are guarding it, run inside. We try and convince the people to come with us. We finally get them to come, and that's when the front door bursts open. We get everybody outside, and then we shove a whole bunch of broken chairs and wood pieces along the back door, close it, set it on fire, put a minor illusion over it to make it look like it's, not there. This dragon claw immediately see through it, so he tries to ram the door, bust it open, ends up dislocating his shoulder, setting himself on fire. So he,
The classic.
the classic, gets his minions to open up the door, and then he's like, well, I'm going to be the first one out. And he runs out, not realizing that our rogue has set out, caltrops across the ground. So he runs in, hurts himself, tries to keep going, and then once he gets out of the smoke, he gets shot by 2 spells and longbow through the eye and immediately falls down. And nobody was really hurrying to chase us after that.
Yeah, no.
And then our, what's his face? Cyan Wrath issues a challenge, tells us to 1v1 him. Fox only, no items. Our Moon Druid agrees, turns into a fox, about kills him, but Cyan Wrath is a CR 3 and our Druid was level 2 or something. But no, he took it to him, almost wiped him out. But no, we We succeed in not dying, which I think is the goal at level 2.
And now we are caught up to where we were earlier when the audio was dead.
Yes.
That true.
Yes. We are now officially wasted only 2 hours.
No, about an hour and 13.
Not too bad.
I don't know what's happening. Anyway. We then get tasked to following the raiders, trying to get any survivors, and we agree, we pack up, get supplies. I grab a crowbar because I figured it'd be handy. We get lots of rope. Lots and lots of rope.
Yes.
And yeah. And then we go to leave.
Oh.
I love it.
Keep going.
We go leave, but then a monk gets in our way, and it's also, hey, could you save my tutor? He's this special, dragon research monk, and we're like, yeah, sure.
Why not?
We yeah. So we go, we find some stragglers, we take them out, we question which way they're going, we follow the tracks, follow the directions, and then we learned about the rear guard from torturing, the bad guy. We ambush the rear guard. It's a little bit of back and forth, but we take them out, we dress up as them, and then we continue back to the camp. We infiltrate our way in, except our sorceress tries to convince them, hey, we're definitely cultists, and then the guards were like, no, you're not, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So no, we go around, ascend via rope, get into the camp.
Yep.
And we get down, and then we start going to the mess hall, we question them, figure out, hey, what happened the last few days? Hey, what's the next few days plan? Ask them about that. And at the time, our assassin rogue was not an assassin, but an arcane trickster, so we come up with a plan. We go to the prisoners.
A terrible plan.
It was a great plan. It just, no plan stays through for the first contact through the enemy, whatever. But no, we check out the prisoners. We see they're likely chained up. And so we just convince them to stay. We unlock them. We set up an escape rope, and we're like, hey, when it goes off, just start climbing up and get out of here. We'll be back for you. We tell them that. And then our buddy Quovis, who has control flames, just started setting everything on fire.
That is true.
And then, two of our charismatic guys go up to the tent saying, hey, there's a big fire, and they think we're about to attack the cave, so you guys should probably do something about that. Now, this is a tent surrounded by 4 guards in, full armor with 4 guard drakes. This is, something you're not supposed to go towards. But we try and, trick our way in.
Mm-hmm.
But our arcane trickster rogue is like, hey, I know what to do here. So he sends out his mage hand to grab some papers, starts running away, and gets chomped on a few times by those guard drakes until he remembers, oh, I have Misty Step. Misty Steps, double dashes away, gets out safely.
And I almost died.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you lived. You were fine. You had 3 HP.
If that, it was horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
You would have
But they,
died next hit.
Yeah, they get to the prisoners, climb their way out, and then me and Quovis, who are on the other side, rescuing the monk, are just like, are they going to come over here and check us out? Because we literally just popped his chains out and then just climbed up the wall, threw down the rope, and got him out. I think we had one guy who was like, hey, get back here. I think we shot him, but no.
So you fixed everything. Shoot him.
Yeah, pretty much. But we escape with the prisoners. We do a sort of forced march. Quovis hands out some good berries to give people sustenance and get them moving and pass out a little bit of healing. But then we settle down to rest because they just can't keep going. And then the orcs attack. We settle down for the night. We set out some alarm spells. We get cozy. No, that's what we're recapping. You're going to have to go back to the beginning. So we settle down for the night, and then this mist rolls in. I'm on guard duty. I go tell the wizard, hey, there's mist rolling in. By the time I take 5 steps to him, it has encompassed the entire camp. The alarms start going off, people have infiltrated, and people are confused, running around screaming, and then finally the orc who just running around through the mist like it's not even there, gets in the middle and takes the hostage, and then, we have a mild hostage negotiation until he, sees my Pretty much until he sees the singlet I have, like over my shield to show my family crest, and he's like, "Hey, I know that crest. Where'd you get it?" It's like, "Well, it's my family crest," and then he, diffuses the situation. It's like, "You need to come back with us." And at the time, and that was the end of the session. Next session, it was only like 3 or 4 of us here, so we said like half the people went and took the people back to Reminisce. The other half went to the orc camp. And so Nick goes back, meets his father, chit chats, learns about each other. They get into an arm wrestling competition. There was an arm wrestling competition, which how'd it go? Nick won one, father won one, and then they called it a draw and was good. And then there was the fight pits the next day. The next morning there were fight pits, and Devo hopped in there for one. Or was it Void? Void hopped in the fight pits.
I think it was Devo.
Devo hopped in the fight pits for a good fight, and then he just critically hits this one orc, goes down in one hit. And
obliterates him.
Yeah, and then I believe it was Owl. Owl hopped down next and was like, "All right, I'll take you on." And then just does the exact same thing to Void, takes out Void in one hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then there were the wolves. So it turned out Nick's mother died from a wolf attack. And so his father set out and killed and captured all the wolves in the area. Literally just wiped out this force of like all dire wolves. Except for the litters, he captured and basically had them locked up and chained up and fed them regularly, but they were captured. And he basically said, "One day I had hoped that we can get familial satisfaction." It's like, well, and Nick stated, "I'm not going to kill this wolf unless it attacks me. That's my faith." But yeah, sure enough, a wolf attacks somebody. Fight goes on, take him out pretty quickly, and it's like, "Well done. You want more?" Because I had not gotten hit once, didn't lose any HP. It was pretty good. Then take on 2 dire wolves. Just between Shield of Faith and what's that sword? Sacred Weapon.
Yeah.
Something like that. Made my
Spiritual weapon.
Spiritual weapon. Almost got knocked out from it because, attacking with advantage, one of them gets a critical hit, but because Life Domain Cleric, healed myself up to full and one spell, and ended up taking him out, getting a lot of respect from father from that, and that's where their relationship is. But they go back to Green-S. They confer with the mayor, and it's like, "Hey, we want you to go back to the place you just were, back to the abandoned camp, and check them out again." Saved all survivors, so yeah, sure enough, we make our way back to the abandoned camp, finding it completely deserted. We find some huntsmen who scared the heck out of. We literally just put the fear of God in them.
Yes, we did.
They ran off, and then our new assassin rogue decided to get out his poisoner's kit and poison the meat. And then we sat outside for hours.
Yes.
Literally hours waiting for them to come get this poison meat and distribute it. But yeah, after like 20, 30 minutes, they come and got the meat, and then we let another like 30 minutes for it to like settle in. Yeah. But then we go into the cave, fight ensues, yada yada. I won't bore you with the fight after fight after fight. But we go to this backroom trash pit, and we find this secret invisible room where there's this little girl who was like, "Hey, here's a puzzle. Solve it real quick. We got these really special magical items, these vestiges, just hiding in this cave. We put them on. They're all sitting around each and individual one of us.
Right.
Got our vestiges. Went back out in the cave. We did some more killing. Learned Fireball for the first time. All that fun stuff. Somebody took this rusty spear right by this curtain.
And it came in handy.
No, it didn't. You took it from where it needed to be. But
yeah, and then when we put it back, it solved all our problems.
So you weren't here for that session. We didn't have.
Yeah, they had to steal the spear from you back because you took it.
Good.
No, but we open up the curtain using this rusted spear to open up, and then we find this just room filled with meat. Realizing that, this is just like a cool meat locker for them. But we take some of their meat, we like acid splash and like poison spray the rest so that they, couldn't have their meat. But we continue on. We find the leader. we had some sort of plan, and it was like take out the cleric because they had 4 guys in there, a couple of naked guys, berserkers who were half naked.
They wore a lot of
Si-
cloth
si-
armor and loincloths and stuff.
And then Cyanrath was there, and then there was a guy in robes, and we're like, take out that guy first. And we did. We really killed that guy. We were very on his tail, we almost took him out, and then he ran into the back rooms, and then Lindor literally Misty stepped into line of shot with him, and then just took him out. Yeah, but in that fight, I actually did hold person on Cyanrath for 3 turns. He couldn't move. But just piled on, took him out, cut his head off, put it in a jar. It's pretty good.
Pretty neat.
Yeah. Then we continue into the cave and take out some kobolds. Then these long tentacles go and grab 2 or 3 of us, get into its mouth, maw.
Oh,
Yeah, they're definitely tentacles.
Yeah. Speaking of that, that's a perfect opportunity.
You guys need to quit. No, I just the chat.
It is
talking.
inappropriate.
Yes, that meant that much tentacles.
Yeah. We get grabbed, and then as a last-ditch effort, I take this, thing of meat I got and throw it in its waiting maw, and then it speaks to us. And we're like, hey, you shouldn't eat us. There's this, whole room full of meat. It's really good meat. It's definitely not poisoned or covered in acid. You should go and check it out. And so it slowly starts making its way towards the room we described. And then we find 3 dragon's eggs, and then we do a little bit more searching, and then we find a 4th dragon egg hidden in case those 3 got stolen, and we put it all in a bag of holding we got at some point back at the orc camp.
Comments?
No. We end up selling them later on, but that's a spoiler. No, get the eggs. We leave. We pass by the roper again. He's, 3/4 of the way to the cave, and we are going to get out of there until he realizes we poisoned and turned all his meat to acid gunk. And we make it back to Green Nest, report in. We're like, hey, don't go into that cave. There's a roper. Then we continue on to where the monk suggested we go with the eggs and travel there using horses they gave us because, heroes. After a couple days trip, we make it where we're supposed to go. We meet the contact we're supposed to contact. He tells us about the Harpers and the Order.
Order of the Gauntlet.
Order of the Gauntlet. 2 people joined up with the Harpers. I was conflicted about joining up with the Gauntlet. And we were going to keep one of the eggs for ourselves, but we decided against it because they were evil dragon eggs. And we were like, nah, we can't handle evil dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So we forked over all the eggs and got some money in return, and then we got another quest to track where this cult is going. So we had a rendezvous in Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
So we make it over to Baldur's Gate, and then some storms set in, and we're distracted. And so we go off to a town a half day's ride away from a quest marker and find a little fun house.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
No, yeah.
Pretty fun.
Oh yeah, the Halloween special
Yeah,
with
so
Happy Slappy Jack.
we took a small break from our campaign and we did a Halloween special.
Mm-hmm.
Devo tried to seduce an unbelievably old lady who was running a weird roller coaster thing.
Yes,
It almost worked,
almost worked.
but it did not.
It did not work. She instead grabbed you with some more tentacles and
Yep.
sat you down on the roller
There are a
coaster.
lot of tentacles in this campaign. I'm uncomfortable with
Hey,
how many
I was about to say,
tentacles
looking
there are.
back at it, somebody who's deciding what kind of enemies we fight really likes to put us up against tentacles.
Those are tapes. What can you say?
But anyway, so yeah, we
But no, we get captured, thrown in this Happy Jack's cave. We find hippo in the middle. We explore. We're trying to rescue some children. We got descriptions of, names of.
We killed all the kids.
We killed all the adult versions.
We accidentally committed infanticide.
We
not that
these
bad.
kids were aged up, so we capture them, tie them up, accidentally kill a handful.
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
Child murder's okay on accident.
Yeah. Well, they're not
All right,
children.
you need
they're
to calm that
age
down. This is
But no,
still a
we-
family-friendly stream.
Yeah,
we find a
the whole
chainsaw.
All the
we find a
tentacles would
boomstick.
argue otherwise.
There are 2 people. Well, no, there's just one viewer
One.
now.
It's just me.
And me.
And me.
It literally says 1 viewer right now. Anyway. Yeah, but we find a boomstick. We find a pop little
We found a chainsaw.
arrow. Yeah, find a chainsaw, and then somebody runs into like a back room to like inspect this guy, like grab a note that he has, and we're trying to figure out this riddle because there's like notes strewn about hey, this and this makes this. But as he's like running out, like the cave starts to collapse on him, and he like loses what was it, a year of his life, except it was Lindor. So it's like that was nothing because
I looked about the same.
elf. Like didn't even change his
Lives
appearance
for
at all.
1,000 years.
No, so we're exploring about, and then we find this weird arm stitch lady. You know, we're collecting these like little baubles, pins,
Tokens.
random pieces of rope and pieces of corpses, and we take them to the stitchling.
Stitch funny.
Yeah, we have her combined it into different things, and a couple of them was pretty brutal. One time we gave them a dead kid and a live kid, and then took the heart of like the live kid and put it in the dead kid, and then it came back.
The dead kid came
Sorry,
back
it
to life.
It
was
wasn't
horrible.
kids.
It was
were,
adults.
Like, it was adults.
Adults
who
that we
looked
thought
like,
were DA
a
were
kid,
aged to kids,
aged
yeah.
up.
Yeah, it was kind of an accident.
Well,
There.
it wasn't an accident. We just didn't know what was going to happen. You don't expect it to just die. But no, we got a handful of like magical special items, like the flim flam ammunition. If you throw it, you get to teleport to it.
I still have some of that.
Somebody got some like poison resistant amulet,
Oh, I got a nice crossbow out of the deal.
Longbow.
short bow.
It
a
wasn't
bow.
long. It was a bow.
It was
yeah.
a bow.
No,
yeah.
it was little arcade like bubble gum, like
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a bow.
It was a team,
A +1 bow.
but it was like the arcade kind, so plastic. Would usually shoot. Anyway, but we get a handful of magical items. Like I get a ringlet. We find an extra signet ring, and I give it to the lady, and she turns it into a signet ring of thunder waves, and that's a good one. But no, we get a small handful of strange magical items, and we also get this pig that's immortal. It was found in a bowl pit, just eating these explosive balls.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I open the door to the next room and find this this old nasty hag waiting for us, and so I just close the door and turn around and like, hey, do you guys want to go somewhere else? No, but we buckle up and run in there and chainsaw her to the face, hold her in place, and just lay on her. And we take her out pretty quickly, all things considered. But no, we keep exploring. We find a de-aging pool. Pretty much we're.
I jumped in it for.
Well, let me specify. It was a de-aging dunk tank.
Yes. A de-aging dunk tank. But we would dunk people in there over time, trying,
get them the right age.
We literally have like a pile of like 4 or 5 adults behind us that were stringing along.
I took a splash of water to get my year back too. Like splashed a little on me.
Splash.
Splish splash.
Yeah,
He
that's right.
actually came out younger, but no, we dunked these kids into the tank. We dunked these adults in the tank to get them back to the age of kids. But after doing that, we go down the hallway and we find the evil mastermind's room, and it just so happens to be the granny's. We find her journal, we find out what she was doing, and so we take her in there, roll her up in a mattress and just crack.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You
Yeah.
close it up and just bang, bang, bang.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that she
You
was
don't?
done for.
Oh, that's funny.
You might not be. Yeah, we continue to explore. Fun things happen. We find Jack's lair.
Dude, it was a huge, you had everywhere you could go.
There was a whole second bottom floor with a snake pit, but we ended up,
And it was supposed to
Or
be one
exploding
session.
generators.
It was supposed to be one session. It was 3, wasn't it?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
we were very thorough though.
Yeah, you
we
guys
could have
searched
ended
every
it earlier.
single room in the
Every single room.
place.
We removed a snake curse, which turned all this writhing pile of snakes in this room into like humans,
There was a small room and there were thousands of snakes.
and so they
They all got
crushed immediately.
Yeah, it was like a juicer.
Yeah,
that's a great description. It's a blood juicer. Yes.
They just all of a sudden went,
That was
How does it sound?
What's more for yourself? Okay.
Anyway,
yeah.
you guys get back down the stairs.
Yeah, we
Four
find
generators
Happy Jack's
explode.
room. We get enough items to make Happy Jack's key. We use it to infiltrate his secret realm. We
I
go
got
in there.
Jingles here.
Yeah, Jingles here.
Yeah.
Your magical horse.
Yes, that everyone hates now.
Because it makes so much noise.
Yeah.
But we try and convince him to give up. We are almost to. We almost succeed. But then he's like, no. I'm going to kill all of you. And then he starts to, like, whip up a spell to, like, get the children to attack us. So, jaw upon,
Puts them
cast
to
a
sleep.
sleep spell, immediately
Knocks
takes
all the kids to sleep. He's just like, what the heck?
At least it didn't kill him.
Yeah.
That's true.
So then we feed on Happy Jack. He eats the kid, but then we, punch him in the stomach until he spits out the kid.
You became a were hippo.
Not yet.
On
Oh,
the way
yeah.
out.
At the end of this.
That's the end. Yeah, we're not.
On the way out.
Okay.
But
I'm pretty sure he eats Quovis too at this point.
he eats Quovis. Quovis does enough damage to his inside to where he spits him out, and then we get, we kill him and then get the kid out. We're just surrounding this guy, wailing on him, not letting him do anything.
Then everything kind of started collapsing.
And then everything started collapsing.
Once he
As soon as
died,
we
everything
like
collapsed.
run to the entrance. It's closed. We run back to the guy. There's the key on him. We take the key. We try and open it, except you were not at the gate. So then we run back to the gate.
Yeah, it took us a while to figure out how the heck to get out of there.
Yeah, but we open up the entrance. We run out. We have our pig, immortal pig, following us. But then we get to the entrance, and there's this. What was it? The human hippo. Bubby was his name. But no, we try and prod him along to get into the
Get him
seats,
out.
and then he turns around, bites me. I fail the con save, so then I'm like, that's not good.
I wonder what's going to happen later.
Yeah.
Hint to hint. It's important to the story.
And Devo,
Helped Nick for a while there.
Devo felt like he knew this condition. Because Nick was having a lot of issues with falling asleep somewhere and then
Waking up naked in a swamp.
waking up not knowing what was going on, and Void and Devo at various times interacted with Nick, and they all came to the conclusion that Nick had a split personality.
Just
It
like,
should be pointed out that both of us have -1 intelligence modifiers. So
Yep. So we were not being very smart about it.
we thought we were being smart, but no.
We rolled
You're
pretty darn
brilliant.
low.
Well,
Touch the hippo
you're
and it's like,
brilliant.
hey, hippo, we gotta go. He turns into a human. We get out of there with like a younger version of Quovis too. Somehow Jack had
Oh, baby
made
Quovis.
a
How
baby
was that?
Quovis.
I don't
Jack
remember.
Jack ate him and then spit out his childhood.
Oh,
So
it's
now there were
baby
two
too.
versions of Quovis.
We have adult Quovis and then baby Quovis.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. I
Yep.
forgot about that.
But we escape with an immortal pig, with a whole bunch of children, with an extra child, with baby Quovis, with immortal pig, with were hippo. But baby Quovis and the were
was
hippo
quite
go off
eventful.
to the sanctuary, and the kids come back, and one of the older kids who'd been there for God only
Oh,
knows
what was
how
her name?
long.
Sally?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sally.
Saley.
Saley.
Oh yeah, we called her Sally. And she's like, no.
My name's Sally.
we send her off to an orphanage and regroup and make it back to
She died
Baldur's
along
Gate.
the way to get there.
And then I think
So
it was
is there
like
something Dino and Void did that we don't know about.
No, I'm just assuming. Things don't usually end well for these kids, apparently.
That's fair.
Orphans.
Anyway, so you
make it back to Baldur's Gate, and then we make some athletic checks to see, what level of people we're going to be. Some make athletic checks, some people make, dexterity checks.
oh yeah, this was to
See
be
if we were
bodyguards
bodyguards
or
or
just
just
guards or
Yeah, and we all rolled really high, so all of us were like paid.
you're all high paid bodyguards.
And
For,
then we got fired like halfway through. Other than me.
Yeah,
that will come
We'll
up
start
in
in
a
the
minute.
beginning
Yeah.
because we set out on the way. There's the dead fields people are worried about. We make it through. You want to follow along?
oh yeah.
Come on.
So we make it up to Baldur's Gate.
Mhm.
They begin their travel. Let me draw. Let me get my pencil out real
What
quick.
is that? Fields of the Damned or the Fields of the Dead?
Fields of the Dead. That's one. Just kidding. Let me get my red pencil going. So we began our travels from Baldur's Gate up the coastway to Dragonspear. That's what to do.
On the way, we play some foot knife.
Yeah, had several adventures. You guys met a golden stag.
Yep.
That they gave
Chased
you an
it down,
ill omen
yes.
that someone was going to die.
Nobody did so far, so hey.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
We
at this
also
point, was
got a
COVID
+1
gone?
longbow we to Quovis.
That Quovis was gone at this
Quovis
point.
No, not yet. He made it all the way.
later on. Anyway, so yeah, you guys made it up. It was about a
Dragon
2-month travel through
Mhm.
this trip.
Someone stole his pyramid.
Yep, his fancy vestige. Someone stole it. And he
We were able
accused
to
one
find
guy,
it.
and it was someone absolutely different.
But we definitely took his wallet anyway.
You guys
because he
took-
was
I
kind of
took
a
his
jerk.
wallet. Yeah.
He was kind of a jerk.
Yes, that is true.
And then
What is
I believe we ran into the mushroom fields. No, not yet. But Nick's going through a couple of changes, as you can see. But we also had one of our mules stolen from the troll area, from the troll force. And we chase them down. Lindor almost dies. Get them back.
Mhm.
I almost died a few times.
Yeah, it happens. But, pretty safe and sound, all things considered, through the Dragon Spear, where we buy a cart and some extra food for horses just to make sure they're okay. Continuing on, then we see a mushroom field pops out of nowhere, screaming, and we take them out.
That
We
was
literally
weird.
get in a pile and just start casting cantrips on them to keep them quiet, and because it gave you
They still kept screaming at you guys,
screaming
causing
at you
like
guys.
nightmares for the next
Yeah, if
week.
somebody hits a live one, if we don't kill it in one shot, it starts screaming, and it's like needs con saves just to keep from going crazy. Jaw Pond picked up a whole bunch of like mushroom spores from there, which I'm rarely worried about how he's going to use them. But
I forgot he had those.
yeah,
Yeah,
he has mushroom spores from
screaming mushroom
mushrooms.
spores.
What can you do with those?
Scare your enemies.
Don't know.
What can't you do with those?
Exactly.
Good point.
Screaming mushroom spores. What else happened? I think it wasn't until past Dragonford I got turned into it. But yeah, it wasn't until after. Yeah, just other little things came across him, but it got any.
I don't think there was anything crazy eventful during the travels other than kind of the.
Oh,
The
we're following the
vestige.
cult, and we would actually like break into their area. We stole some of their gold. Just trying to figure out, like, sneaking back, kind of figure out what they're up to. I mean,
Our whole goal at this point is just to figure out what the heck's going on with the
Yeah.
cult and
Yep.
start blending in with this traveling
Yeah.
group.
and then after Daggerford, we get 2 new companions. One is a red mage, and then one is a short halfling rogue who's traveling / following the red mage. Yeah, and a few days after this, one of our members, not one of our members, just one person in the traveling group died after the cultists have an accident, drops a whole bunch of gold. One guy tries to see it, makes a big point out of it, but we try and get him to not. But the next day he wakes up. Well, we all wake up. He doesn't wake up. He is dead.
Moided.
We kind of make eye contact with the cultists, and we're like, hey, and like the next day, as I'm riding along next to the cart's wheel falls off, and the cart kind of falls down, and hurts my horse a little bit, but I'm able to roll free, and because life to main cleric, heal the horse back up, medicine check, nat 20, and heal it up to full health and then some. But then that night, oh no, that's what happened over there was the guy mistreating his horse. That was from Dragon Spear to Dragonford, but
Daggerford.
Daggerford.
But yeah, we don't have to go over all the
No,
things that happened. But yeah,
But
a
no,
lot of
that,
things happened.
that night is also happens to be a full moon, or a few days later, it's a full moon. So
Mhm.
naked Nick walks back on the
Classic
trail
naked
towards the
Nick.
swamp. Sleeps naked. He gets about halfway there before the transformation starts to take it. All his emotions become rampant, and there's only one person he's really pissed at. So instead of going back towards the swamp and being at peace, he runs back towards the camp. Smells and finds the one guy who really made him mad, and he runs straight into the tent, grabs the guy, shakes him like a ragdoll, breaks his neck, stomps on him, and then just starts leaving. That's when everybody else wakes up, and they follow him, and then find out, hey, Nick, you're a were-hippo. And the whole thing happens, and then we eventually make it to Waterdeep. And there we get like a day to like buy stuff, sell stuff. I talk to the church about it. We get supplies for a curse removal, but do a scouring spur on him.
What I was trying to remember is, where did that inn fall in? Wasn't that during the travels that I almost died because they were all like assassins?
Oh
No,
yeah,
that was
that was
somewhere in
at
there.
Daggerford.
Yeah, because that was pretty intense.
Yeah,
the
that
one
was
thing that
a
happened.
mistake in the book.
Yep.
The book calls out 3 assassins, and assassins are way too high level for these characters.
And been raining the whole day, and we find one of those like off-road inns that we go
And
into, and
I was pretty tired of the rain. Like, I was just pissed, like, with the day. And
there's like
This-
a judge and 3 of his lackeys.
yeah, that was their cover at least. And he was like, no, the rooms.
I bought
are-
the whole inn.
I bought the whole inn, and there's only 4 of them, and there's definitely plenty of room for everyone. I was like, no, I want a room. And finally, basically, I got really pissed, and they weren't going for it, and they about killed me.
Well, they tried to stab you right off,
Yeah, but I can't be surprised, so that
but it didn't
that
matter
sucks.
because they had like multi-attack and ended up,
Yeah.
wiping out with one shot. And it's like, oh, those are CR13s.
Yeah, they wrote this book, then wrote the stat block for Assassin. Assassins became a lot stronger than they remembered and didn't rewrite this book. I didn't realize that at the time, and then refixed it after the fact.
So we
This
turned
was
them
a
into
pretty
Lycan
heavy
folks.
battle.
It was. You would still have trouble now probably fighting 4 assassins.
But anyways, I think we ended up being able to stay in the inn.
Yeah.
You did. You killed they became werewolves, so you killed the werewolves, and then stayed in
Oh,
the
because
inn.
we all had silver weapons.
Yes,
which,
thanks to
yeah.
Thanks to our adventures in the
Happy Jacks.
Happy Jack.
Happy Jacks
We still
ended up
learned
helping us
some of our
quite a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So you guys made it to Waterdeep.
Mhm.
Buy all your magic items.
Bought a small bunch of magic items and
Picked up an extra
My character
traveler.
was like, it's whatever. But however, me as a player, I was like, ooh, there's all the famous things. We're in the big city.
The famous city, Waterdeep. Yeah, and then we meet our newest character. He joins in for the trip north.
which Clovis at some point just went south.
Yeah.
South for the winter.
Left the party.
He went to his garden
Just
or
went to
grove.
find out. Maybe.
He made to make sure Baby Clovis is okay. It'll
And
take
went
him a
back
while
to
to
their
get
forest
back.
sanctuary.
So
So
now,
while they're in Waterdeep, they you guys are getting a new job at that point.
Still
Trying
trucking.
to stay with the cult, moving north. You run into this changeling, Wayland.
For
what's
some
his
reason,
class?
he was disguised
What's
as an
his class
anime
and
girl.
subclass?
Yeah. Everyone sees
Oh no!
Yeah, he's a changeling gunslinger.
So fighter gunslinger for those that don't know that.
Guns.
Lots of guns.
He
Yes,
shoots guns.
he shoots lots of guns.
We
Doesn't
don't
he
know a
have
lot
a
about
special
him.
gun?
I got a special gun too.
Vestige.
Vestige. I don't know how to describe it other than
It's
it's a changeling gun.
It's a changeling gun. Yeah, it's a gun that changes form like he does.
It's actually really cool.
It's
Yeah.
very cool. It is
That's
called
pretty
it is called Cataclysm. All of these will be available to see once I get the D&D Beyond links up and running, and then you guys can see what these weapons look like. Each player has their own vestige, and all of vestiges is it's a magic item that levels up with the players as they get stronger. So currently our vestiges are what we call Awakened, which is 2nd level, and there's a 3rd level that will be Exalted once they hit higher levels.
Yeah, mine's a really cool dagger. It's super fancy and kind of like it's like super nice. It's got all these gemstones and stuff on it.
Yep.
And also does like extra psychic damage, which is I can add like multiple charges that build as they.
Yup,
Mine's a gun.
this is a fancy gun.
Yeah.
It turns
Mine's
into
a piece of metal.
Mine are tattoos.
yes. Yeah, I'll set those up so you guys can go take a peek at those. So
Yeah.
hopefully, if you're watching this, I'll have those set up soon.
As far as backstory, we haven't really gotten into that in the campaign at all.
Other than
Yeah,
it's a
then
drug.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, so you're heavy drunk.
Yeah.
And your hair changes white when you're drunk.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And to be fair, you have showed off some of the changeling features you have.
Well,
you know.
yeah, I mean
At this point, you have, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely know you're changing at this
Absolutely.
point. But we continue past Waterdeep, up towards a workhouse / warehouse / cover room.
Where did we go? You're on your way to Neverwinter. So you guys are on your way up here, and you stop in the Mirror of Dead Men.
Mm.
and you stop at a small camp.
Yep.
Or a small
Warehouse type thing.
warehouse-ish
Waypoint.
/ tavern. Yeah.
But yeah, we stopped there for like 2 days, and we have like one order. Hey, don't go in this room. So guess what we do?
Well, isn't that was supposed to be like a whole chapter, and we like kind of just walked out.
No,
No, that was
not
the
yet.
that was the
That was the mansion.
That was the mansion.
That was funny. You're like, well, you guys leveled up for walking in and walking out.
Yep.
We leveled up, and then we went to the mansion. Then we got out of the mansion. Then we leveled up again, and was like, oh, that was fast.
We'll get there in a minute. We're at
Nice.
chapter 6.
Yep.
We'll get to chapter 7 here in a second. Actually, we're
But
fine.
yeah, we check out the warehouse. We make a distraction. We break in. I cast a silent spell so nobody can hear what we're doing, except the 3 people who are there with me are all spellcasters.
I'm
So,
upstairs
yeah.
drinking, gambling,
So-
keeping them.
Devo's up there.
Distracted.
Waylon's up there.
All
I
trying
think
to distract.
Lindor's
Also
wasn't
up
that
there.
Session.
Yep.
Lindor won.
Got a fancy deck of cards that
Mark cards.
mark.
Marked cards so you
Yeah.
could
So,
steal their money from them.
steal
Yes.
all of the money.
And then yes, the cleric
buy them drinks.
The cleric, the sorcerer, and the wizard
all
are
go
trying
down to
hold the
fight
door.
and are now silenced so they cannot cast spells.
Luckily
Yeah,
at
that
this
was great.
time, Nick is immune to piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing from non-magical attacks, so take no damage from him. But
That was like super helpful
Yeah.
for a while there.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really broken, but
Yeah, well,
but yeah, we take out the lizardmen guarding it, and then find a secret entrance, find a thing full of treasure, and just start shoveling the treasure into the bag of holding, which also annoys the DM.
lots
You
of
have to
treasure.
guess.
Lots of annoying
What?
the DM.
You have to figure out how much it is.
Yeah.
I did.
And so we go through the secret entrance, we cover up the doors a little bit, but it's kind of obvious that the door that was shattered inward is, not supposed to be like that
Yeah.
with a mobile battering ram.
Yep.
We go through the secret entrance, we're trying to follow the tracks. We kind of have a, not view,
We
but
go
our
through the
wizard
secret
has-
entrance, and then we go, and then there's people following us, and then we get to a castle, kind of. No, that's
Well, we get
not
to a camp,
castle.
we kill almost everybody at the camp except for one guy who we convinced to help us out.
Yeah, 'cause
Was it Larry the Lizard?
Yes, this is Larry the Lizard.
Larry the Lizard! I forgot about Larry.
Yeah, we give him a
Oh, Larry.
What was his
Which one's
actual name?
9%?
Snapjaw?
something like that.
Snapchat. You guys keep
Sounds
calling him
right.
Larry the Lizard, yes.
But I kept calling him. I had a cousin. I was trying to tell him like I have a cousin named Larry or something. Larry the Lizard. I don't remember exactly
Snap
why I was trying to.
Snapchat
Well, we
was
also
offended.
worked buddy with him, and then we also gave him a long sword.
And he thought he was so cool.
He was. It was a nice sword
It was a
because
shiny sword.
yeah, because
wasn't
all
rusted.
of the lizardmen's weapons are bone
Rusty.
or stone or
Not
throwaway
iron.
equipment.
But it was literally like a longsword we'd gotten from someone we killed, so we didn't really care about it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh my gosh!"
We made a
It was a
rope
great
sheath.
sword.
It was a great
It was
sword.
huge.
It was
Yeah.
way too big for him.
Oh, absolutely.
He was perfectly muscled for it. It was just too big for him.
Well,
huge,
like
yeah.
we
Jag on the
said
ground.
It was
during
comically
it,
large.
he didn't have
tied
a
it to
sling
his
for it, so
back.
we literally tied a rope, and every time he used it, it would cut his sling, so you'd have to make a new one.
Yeah. He used a lot of rope up for that thing.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder whatever happened to him. I hope he's okay.
I hope he's
Yeah.
dead.
We can go back to the castle and check it out. But no, we make it to
Oh,
the
no.
castle, and then there's this tension between the lizardmen there
What about the bully
and the
ones?
bullywugs there. And then we'd already committed a little bit of genocide on some bullywugs because they kind of attack us on the road. Except our wizard learned Fireball the previous session, and so it wasn't much of a fight. It was all right, everybody just
It was a
stand behind.
Stand back.
One
Boom!
Fireball kills 90% of them. There's 2 stragglers.
For the first
that
time,
take him out.
he did this.
Took him out. So we don't have
Woo!
a
Supposed
good
to
we
be
don't have a
Fireball.
good relationship with
We have
bullywugs.
a gun button.
Not yet. I need to get one.
Boom.
They'll come out.
Kaboom! Kaboom!
Yeah, so we try and infiltrate our way in, still looking like cultists because we still have the clothes. We make our way into the hidden room of the lizard men, and then we try using Find Familiar to scout them out.
You want to sit over here?
No, I don't want to.
Why? Why?
There's a
I added another camera.
put it over here.
What?
Yeah, so that castle
Sorry.
didn't. I don't remember who charmed who, or basically try to get half the bullywugs to leave.
That was
That was
Keelan.
No,
at
that
the
that
bottom.
wasn't until
Wasn't
much later because
Bullywugs.
we send draw upon to find familiar spell to like scout it out as a spider. Except the red mage sees it, tries to shoot at it, misses, and then gets angry, tries to shoot again, takes out the spider. So we all go running up and just bull our way through this castle library, just killing everything.
I wanted to mention one thing that we used a ton, especially at the beginning, was Japan's owl.
Yes.
Like we
Find familiar.
Yeah, find familiar. So he would make it into an owl, and we would basically just check everything before we went anywhere. And so the spider made me think of it because we used his owl a ton.
Well, we still use it. We literally, when we're traveling over like open plains or walking,
It's just
like,
smart.
Yep.
I carry jaw upon, and he sends out his owl, and then we just keep going.
Yeah, because he can't move when he's using it.
Well, we can't see or hear.
He can. He can choose to see through or the thing.
But
You can.
Yes, but when he's doing that, he is blinded and deaf. Definitely.
so we hold his hand and help him walk.
Yes.
Lead him around.
Purposely lead him over
Maybe
rocks.
only
to
hit
trip.
him over a bush once or
I'm gonna
twice.
make him a sled that we can just pull.
We threw him in like the back of the cart for a good portion of the show.
Yeah.
But
I'm just
no, we go through library. We try and find Resimir. We don't see her, but we take out like every single cultist in the library. We about take out the red mage, except our DM is like, "Hey, could you guys not?" So sure enough, we don't kill him. We charm him instead, and then he backstabs us by jumping out a window, Misty stepping out a window.
No,
Yep.
he walked and jumped out.
No, he Misty
I do
stepped out
have
a
a
window.
question. This is not about a recap. If I'm falling like from a cliff and then I misty step before I'm 30 feet, like within 30 feet of the ground, can you save yourself?
That is a great
I
question.
think
I would say
momentum
probably
carries
not.
over.
Yeah, I would say whatever momentum you had before, you would still have when you
Then,
missed.
Like
You
you
can
could
Misty
reduce
step.
the damage, but you can't.
You know what I'm saying though? Like
I mean,
that could
you
be
can
really
reduce-
helpful.
You can reduce it by 30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, but hold on. So when you misty step, do you get to decide what direction you're
Yeah.
facing?
Whatever.
Well, that's easy. Just misty step facing up.
and you can get back.
So
on the
your
top of the
your
cliff.
momentum immediately switches directions.
That's not how that works. No. Your momentum.
You can
You
decide
face
which
the
way
same
you're
direction, but your
facing,
momentum's
but
still
your
traveling in the same
So-
direction.
And
That
it's-
makes zero sense.
But it's not. Yeah, it does.
No,
Why?
it doesn't. How does the misty step spell? Does it keep track of your angular velocity?
No, but your angular velocity stays the same whether you
No,
teleport
it's
like
your
this or this.
molecular. It's a molecular force. So if you are facing this
There's
way,
gravity.
falling that
Cody,
way,
Cody, fantasy.
shut up.
No, so tell me this: if you were falling like this and then immediately flipped like this, would you keep falling like
If
this?
you're
or
falling like this and then went through a portal that has
It's
you
not-
But
pointed
it's
this
not a
way.
portal though.
It is an instant teleportation.
It is, but
It's
it's not like a
dimensional.
you go down and then come out here going like this. It's you come here and then just instantly exist here
But if you
upside
can,
down. and
but
then
if you
keep
can
going.
determine at which direction you're
Cody.
facing when you
Cody.
teleport, that means it rotates.
No,
you
it
to
doesn't work
teleport.
like that.
Cody, if it was
Indeed.
dimension door, that would be accurate. This is not dimension.
No, I still
It's-
think
no, it doesn't work like that. No.
It
But if you're falling off a 30-foot cliff or whatever, and
In
you look
your
up
show?
and you're like, I could just be back on top of the cliff while I'm falling.
That would work.
You would still take.
Ooh, that's a question though. Would you still take the same amount of damage?
I, mean,
I don't know. That's what I'm
Because your
saying.
velocity is the same when you teleport and you land.
But if you're think about it, it's within seconds your turns are. So someone push you off a cliff, you're only 10 feet or
But
whatever.
the thing is, you can fall 500 feet in one round. That's how fast
What?
you can fall. That's the rules.
That's really fast.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the rules.
I thought it was. Yeah, there's a certain.
But like if I misty step, if someone pushed me off, can I get back to the top of the cliff?
Yes.
You descend up to 500 feet at the end of that turn. If you're still falling off the end of your next turn, so you have like one turn. Well,
To do something.
when you fall from a great height, you instantly descend up to 500 feet per round. Yeah, so it's 500 feet per round. So if you don't do anything about it, like instantly, you're dead.
Yeah, 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet. It
Up to
fell to a
20.
maximum of 20.
Which I disagree with too, but I haven't rewritten a home rule for that. Why do you? I mean, term velocity is one thing, but
Gravity doesn't matter. It's fantasy.
fair enough. Anyway, okay, back to the story. Now that we're done with angular velocity and direction and portals,
That tells you how much of a nerd we all are.
yes, it's not like Portal.
Porting out. No, where were we?
We were in the,
In the
mansion, the
castle.
castle. Yeah.
Killed everybody in the library. We go up to the top room.
Think about
Turns out our wizard has a wand of secrets, which we thought meant secret doors. It also means secret traps. So we open up this cupboard thinking that, oh, there's something secret back there. And sure enough, it's a trap and it sprays acid everywhere and nearly kills a lot of us. But
I'm not in the room because I'm shooting dragon heads off a door.
We
That's
learned
true.
from that mistake. We don't
learn
do that
from that
anymore.
mistake. That is a wand of secret doors and traps.
Yes.
So we run down, kill a whole bunch of bullywugs. You know, the lizardmen are doing falling back battle against a whole bunch of bullywugs. I mean, yeah, so we descend into a cave where we think their secret portal is, which we found notes on up in the office. We follow through it, and then we get, waylaid by a group of bullywugs and a group of cultists. Our sorceress, Keelan, does a nat 20 for, hey, how about you guys just, leave?
Not.
Have you guys thought about not? Gets a nat 20, gets all the cultists who understand English to leave. Not English, understands common to leave. So we take out the bad guy, and then we kind of get stuck because this guy does plant growth and spike growth, and so we only get 1 foot of movement for every 5 feet, and it damages us. So we just burn a patch to follow him out, and get to where he is, and he spent the time healing himself and revving up his allies and take them out and recover some gold and find the magic portal with the magic spell word. Yeah, we use it, teleport to a forest, take a long rest. Then we level up from that. We find a mansion. We go in.
Hey.
Devo tries to seduce the Duchess of the mansion.
It goes pretty well, actually.
Yeah, we literally just talk, and she's like, "Hey, could you guys kill these couple of guys for us?" And it's
You
where
guys
are
are
they?
yeah, sure. Where are they? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Devo was like, oh, I'll kill something, all right. And
You're gonna come back and assume she's gonna
she's going to be
So
real
confused.
disappointed.
Yeah, so we leave with directions and equipment and a level up, and we teleport where, and then we go to Flying Magic Castle ride
You guys make it to
over here.
halfway across the map.
Parnast, right there.
Parnas.
Yep.
As I like to call it, Parnasty.
So you guys are at Parnast. Begin traveling.
Yeah, we
Goth tits.
do. Yep. We take one
Yeah.
ride, and then we find a town. We get some food, get some supplies, get some info that nobody talks about the cult. They're really scared of them. In the ice castle, so we go out to the ice castle, acting we're cultists. We have the safe word. We have the flag. We go on in, walk in, check some doors, saying we're looking for the privy. Nobody tells us where the privy is. Turns out everybody's just pooping off of the side of the flying ice castle. Oh, but yeah, by the way, it's
Or in a
flying.
bucket.
No. Yeah, it happens.
Fun, don't drown.
But no, we end up going into the room that happens to have 2 red mages and a couple of knights there.
It was the one guy who jumped in the
Yeah, that's not yet. We do start combat. One of the big red mages puts up this invulnerable spear. Our mages aren't getting through it, so we go in. Yeah, he casts something else, loses concentration, and then that just opens him up to getting just wiped. Kill them, and then as we're trying to question a knight, Waylon goes up, asks him a question, and then he
Blows
immediately
his
pulls the
face off.
trigger. So he's down to
He didn't
1
even
HP,
answer.
No,
and he's
no.
screaming. His faces have blown
It
off.
was a nat 20.
Yeah. So he goes from full health to 0, well, to 1 HP real quick. He's screaming in pain. He runs and jumps out a window, ending his misery.
It was like
It was like, who are you working for?
Bang!
No
No
response
time to
time.
wait and answer.
Nope.
The guy's like, I'm not gonna live. I know this. I'd rather jump out a window than give you guys information and get in trouble. Or get shot in the face like that again.
I'd rather die on my own terms, basically.
Pretty much.
So he's just like, bye, guys.
Yep. Jumped out a window.
But we search the red mage's room. The big bad red mage. They're little red mage with. We find some books. We find a staff of fire. I believe we find a great sword.
Not
Magic,
yet.
great sword, not yet. But we, then didn't take too much damage. We might have taken a short rest.
No.
Lock the door.
Have we gotten to the vampire lady yet?
Not
No,
yet.
Okay.
You're just about there.
Well,
Yeah.
we got taken by the guards, and we met Big
Yeah,
dog tits.
Because not yet. Because we go to the room across the hall
Yes.
with a 25 DC lock check. Guess what? Our
Guidance.
rogue
I'm
over
pretty
here
awesome.
pops it open. We look inside. Turns out there's what was it, 3 guard drakes sitting in there, and then we look
They were
inside, and then
dogs.
Hmm?
They were dogs.
no, they were
drakes.
guard drakes. We look in. Turns out Resmir's in there. Battle ensues again.
And I hate guard drakes.
Resmir
Like-
is cult, evil person, dragon,
Lady.
Half dragon,
who-
cult leader ish part.
speaker.
Yep.
Worm
For
speaker.
dragons.
So she just
Bad
hears a little
person.
jiggle on her lock, and then
Crescent for combat.
Mhm.
We shooting inside. I try going inside to make some room. I get wrapped up in a magic carpet.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
There's a giant
Luckily,
magic carpet on the
they're
floor.
grappled.
He walks in, just goes whoop, pulls out his legs, and he falls on
Yep.
his back. And
I remember that.
Get
Eats
smothered
him,
by this
yep.
carpet. Luckily, there's this special thing that I have that the DM also forgot about called Signet Ring of Thunderwave, and Thunderwave is specifically about if you're grappled by a creature, use Thunderwave to get rid of him, and sure enough, blow him up and get him off me, and
but not after a bunch of enemies shot acid
Yeah.
at you and burned
shot me,
through
shot
you.
at me. It was
Yep.
rough.
That's funny.
But we deal with that. We kill the drakes, we kill the carpet, we kill Resmir, cut off her head, and then right as we kill Resmir, there's this magic popping sound, and the chest that was at her bed, her footbed chest, just is empty. So then, take a short rest there because that fight was intense. Then we continue to explore the castle with that as back point because we take her keys to her room, so easy entrance, easy safe point.
Yeah.
Yep.
You make
Nat
yourself look like
20.
her. Yep.
That deception check can make.
Yep.
No, but we continue to explore the castle until we draw too much suspicion, and then the orgs take us. And I think I'll let Cody take it from here. You remember what happens with Big Goth's tits?
Oh, do I?
Yes,
know, do you?
Do you?
So if I remember correctly, we had a big debate, and the guy was like, we're here. He was like, so you're here because you hate the cult, right? And we're like,
What?
what? No.
No, of course not.
Hail Tiamat,
Hail
buddy.
Tiamat for life, dude.
Yeah, we're like telling him how that's definitely not. He's like, look, I also don't like the cult. You're fine.
Oh, they were like, oh yeah, we hate him.
Yeah, we're
They're the
not big fans of
worst.
cult. So after that, we just kind of had a discussion, and he was like, okay, just don't fuck shit up. That's
That's
me.
the one.
And that's 5 for Cody.
Ah, dang it.
I need $5, Cody.
You don't have it set up yet, do you?
You can just
I'll just
give me
take it.
$5.
Yeah. We'll cash app it.
Okay.
But
I will
He was
reset your count. I'm gonna leave it and I'll reset at the end of the day.
sounds good. He was like, don't mess this up. Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep, and we'll be at our location soon. And I don't care what you guys do with the cult. It's fine. Just leave my flying ship alone. And whatever you do, don't go to this area with this mysterious evil old lady. And of
Yes.
course, we hear, don't
Oh,
go to this
And we
area.
hear go to
And we
this
think,
area.
oh, so we need to go to
We
this
hear-
area.
Mysterious old lady. We heard area. We heard go.
Yeah, we were
I
like,
heard all the keywords in Dungeons and Dragons. Go, area, lady, creepy.
Yep.
Especially lady for him.
So we got so we got there, and turns out it was a vampire, and the vampire proceeded to charm
everyone.
every single member of our party but one, right?
Something like that.
Yes.
And
It
there
was bad.
a very handful of saves and a little bit of intervention from the DM. We managed to survive, but not before Nick tried his absolute hardest to kill himself. He really wanted to
He pulled
die.
no punches trying to die.
He literally, yeah,
Can he
was
say what he said without getting
No, I'll get it.
cursed?
He'll get a curse count.
I know, but can we just For a second.
The vampire.
There was an invisible wall. I thought she left. Okay.
The vampire kept trying to leave, and every time they would be like, "Yeah,
She tried to leave once.
you run away, you coward!"
Even though
and then
she
she'd
literally
turn
just
around.
wrecked us.
And she
Yeah.
would try. She would put him on death's door again, and we'd heal him, and he'd be like, "Haha, that's right, you better run!" And then she would come back and put him on
And
death's
then-
door.
Eventually, she just goes, "You know what?" and just grabs him,
Yeah,
drops him off the
threw him
castle.
off the castle.
She
Goes
grabs
through an
him,
invisible wall.
starts falling backwards and lets go. She turns into a bat and flies off, and he just there getting ready to fall to his death.
Who
And
saved
I
him?
dashed.
Ja Pan saved him
Yep.
by casting web.
Web.
Okay,
Climbing
that's
that.
right.
You dashed over, but you didn't catch him in time, and I think Ja Pan cast web and caught him.
Yep.
I just left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
He left him even to his own devices.
Resmir's room because
I was
get out of the
tired.
charm.
Yep. You guys almost died in that fight. That was a
Yeah,
rough
because
fight.
only like half of us were in the room. Like we couldn't even get in the room, if I remember right.
Yeah.
No, we
No, that was
didn't
almost
know
a
what was
TPK.
going on until like 4 of us were charmed. That was the problem.
Yeah, like all of us
Really
rolled
couldn't do
horribly.
anything.
Yeah.
And I think it was just Ethan that was left, wasn't it?
No, it
For a
was
little
you
while.
and Ethan.
For a little
Until
bit, it was both of
eventually
you,
got
and then she
She charmed me.
charmed you, and then let him go, and then you guys started fighting a little bit. And
Yeah. That was just not a very good time for us.
We're like, what the heck?
Well, we survived. We got a long rest in, and then we went out and tried to kill a dragon.
yeah, there's
We
dragons.
succeeded on that one.
Yeah, we actually did pretty good. I remember.
Yeah, that was a
Except
good one.
Except our first attack, Waylon got a crit. Just
No.
did max damage. Not Waylon.
I
Sorry,
did.
Lindor got
Lindor.
a crit. Did max
And
damage.
then
Did a lot
two
of
us went
damage.
Down.
And then it got mad, and then breathed its breath weapon at you guys.
Into a cave.
Knocked
We were all in
two
a
of
line.
you
It was so
down.
funny. I didn't get hit that whole fight, but everyone else was like dead. Like I was the one that did
That's
all the
rogues
damage.
for you.
I did
Yeah.
all the damage at the beginning, and he didn't even.
He tried to hit you, he just couldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
He'll kill the people that he could kill, and then come after you.
I was next.
To be fair, weren't you one of the ones that went down? It was Jaw
It
Pawn.
was me.
I never
And
went
you,
down.
okay.
He went down, and then Japan went down, and then died.
And then I went.
No,
down.
I brought him back up. And then
Japan died, though.
Yeah.
not yet.
No,
He was
no.
dead.
Oh, okay.
He did
Yeah.
during this fight. Japan died.
Yeah, but
I
in the
went
beginning of the
down-
fight,
I
we
went
do a
down
crit.
twice. Everyone happened. He gets a crit. We
Yeah.
kill the dragon. Woo! Take his.
And then we like
melt
lit
it,
fires and
then-
melted it.
Well, we tried to, but then alarm bells were ringing, so we
Yeah.
went back to our safe spot in
Then we come
Resmir's
back.
room with the DC 25. And then we got into a fight with the
That was-
entire castle's garrison.
From that
We
room.
won.
No.
Yeah.
From that one room, and it's only because you had a massive bottleneck.
Yeah, a massive.
I mean, there was
bottleneck.
like
And,
like
that
5
was
of us,
the
and there was
best place
probably
to have that.
30 of them.
30.
30 or
Yeah.
40 orcs.
And
Or
then-
ogres.
ogres.
And then wyverns.
Yeah, but
Big
guess
white
what?
ones.
How many of them had fireball?
None of them had fireball.
and a handful of cultists, and yeah, we had staff of fire, so there were a lot of fireballs and walls of fire being shot about.
Yeah, that wall of fire really helped too.
That was.
I think I was gone for this.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
You were in
Yeah.
Mexico probably.
Probably. Sounds about right. That's about this time.
But yeah, after we take out all the nasty garrison, we go back down to the dragon's lair, and then we start trying to melt through the fire and
We did.
cut up the
We
dragon. And
succeeded.
yeah, after a few days, after a little while, Big Gothstis comes down and talks with us, like, hey, yeah, I was just trying to, work on getting the dragons to a good point so I can get all the giants to be like, hey, we need to kill the dragons. And he kind of like screwed that up, but I'm okay if we're just going around killing dragons. So we convince him to be on our side and take us to Waterdeep, and then over the multiple day travel, we get all the dragon's hoard. We, cut up the dragon's corpse and eat part of it and chuck it out a window, and there was probably some happy village to, get that feast.
I feel like it would, from that distance, when it hit the ground, it would just kind of.
Incinerate.
Yeah, it would. No, it would turn into like a
Just
paste.
flat. Yeah.
It would hit the ground and
Shoot.
just vaporize.
Isn't this when I got the wyvern
Dragon
poison
hamburger.
too?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I was all.
Cut out the dragon's tail and
Yeah, it was. We made.
Wyverns.
Did you guys make daggers?
I mean, Dragon,
Yeah, we
Dragon's
commissioned
Chief.
them.
Yes.
Commissioned them.
Yeah, you commissioned them.
You don't have them quite yet.
after making it to Waterdeep, we get a few days respite before there's going to be a big council. We go on a shopping spree. We really annoy the DM. He is very annoyed at the amount of
Well,
magic
we
items
hadn't been
get.
shopping in a while. And we were
Yeah,
like,
because we had
all
like
these
6 or
magic
7
items.
thousand.
For like
gold.
5,000 gold.
we were like, we can buy this whole town if we want
There's
to.
a there's a giant shopping spree. Like people get multiple things.
And
I commission adamantium plate, Draw upon gets an animantium.
We had a short discussion on possibly doing strongholds.
Yeah, about what that would entail, but we're gonna come back to it later.
Yep.
Then we set up a ritual, and we actually remove my wear curse. Cheers all around.
We had to fight like 5 different parts of you.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty-
I can't remember the exact names of them, but basically, like spiritual
Yeah.
was the big one. Was it physical?
Strength, dex,
Yeah.
intellect.
Yep.
We don't talk about that. But during the fight, Nick drops down. Then Angel comes in, heals Nick up a good bit, does a critical hit on the adversary, and then leaves, flies off, tells him, "We have more for you yet." After the curse is removed, we go chill in the hot tub, a hot spring, whatever, bathhouse, get rested, recuperated, do a little bit more shopping. I remember Devo gets boots of flying and handle another drunkard. And
I got boots of No, I already had boots of Elven. I got the bracers of archery,
Yeah.
which was super nice for me because it allowed me to use a longbow finally.
I got a tattoo in that.
Yes.
And
the
then
amulet of the drunkard lets me heal up when I'm drunk, which is good because Devo likes to drink a lot and Void hates it.
Hey,
and I also got Luckstone, which was helpful.
I have that jar.
Yep, that's
Alcohol
right.
jug.
Mhm. Good combo.
It is. I thought I was taking this too.
Okay.
Joe Pond just wants to be the most prepared wizard, so on top of his staff of fireballs, he also got a wand of magic missiles. So he can just like cast.
I
10
literally just
spells.
think about Roman candles and just like double fisting.
Yeah.
Just like,
Technically, you can dual wield them.
You can.
oh wow, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yep, just literally an attack that can't miss. So Joe Pond can cast like 5 spells now before he even has to dip into his spell slots.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Probably more, but
Yep.
that's kind of
That was the end of the first book.
yep.
The Hoard of the Dragon Queen.
Wow.
And then, yeah, it was a lot of fun. We kind of. It was a lot of fighting.
A lot of
It was good fighting, though. It was
There's
fun.
a lot of people.
Yeah, so where we are to catch us up quickly, because we've done a little bit in the new book. So we had the town hall meeting with the Lords of Waterdeep and everyone else that wanted to come.
I showed off Resmir's head, asked if they have any questions for him. We could probably trick out 2 or 3 good answers if they have any, but they didn't, and we couldn't come up with any good questions, so that's just going back in the back.
Yep. But yeah, so the council meeting went well. They found everything they needed to, and then they had 2 quests for you guys to go find out what this Dracarhorn noise was when everything went silent, and to go find Verum the White, who had been spotted in the Serpent Hills,
Which is where we went.
which is where you went now. So that's what we did last episode, and so we are finally caught
yeah,
up.
we made it into the rooms, and shenanigans happened, and that's where we are.
Shenanigans ensued, all right.
Sweet. It's
That's
a
actually a
long
pretty good
time to get from Vampire Lady to where we are now, but when you go over it in the recap, it's like,
quick.
geez.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we've had a lot of fun.
Mhm.
We probably call this session fairly quick, unless we want to talk about anything else specifically in the stream.
Is everyone excited for the D&D movie?
Yes.
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
We can watch it after this.
We can
Watch
stream
it.
our reaction to it right now.
Oh my gosh, no, we're not doing that.
Alright.
We're not one of those people.
Put it on.
Yeah.
Change the category to reactions or just chatting or whatever.
get more views.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, so I don't know if anybody else is on. I think everyone else is trying to jump on now for all of our friends. All of us are jumping on to watch it.
Mm.
So anyway, well, thank you for joining us. That was our recap episode. So if you're joining us, thank you for coming. Go back 1 episode and then jump forward 2 more episodes, or one more episode forward to
Watch
finally
this
become.
one, then go back to the beginning.
Watch this one, go back an episode, and then jump to episode 3 to keep the story going. And we'll be back next week with hopefully all 6 players. Not next week. 2 weeks.
Oh,
2
I got
weeks.
excited.
Stream
I
every
wish.
2 weeks.
Every other week on Sunday, starting at 3 p.m. So we'll be back
Central
in
time.
2 weeks.
And
Central
I
time.
will be there every week starting at about 3:10 p.m.
Yes. For every minute that you're late, your character loses 1 HP.
Yeah.
Not actually. That would be terrible.
For
Just
Cody.
is how it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me.
But anyway, so yeah, we are going to call it here. It's been a pleasure, everybody. Wave
Bye,
to the cameras.
everybody.
Bye.
I don't know which cameras are live right now.
See you in
Bye,
2
everybody.
weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Deuces.
Adios.